Hey everybody, welcome back to another Free Roaming Friends video. We are here today to talk about Epic Universe. In our last video, we kind of took you through our day. We just took you along with us as we experienced this awesome new park. And our best good buddy DJ was with us.
Hey.
So his first time and Garrett and I's second time going to Epic Universe. And the next day, which you didn't see, we went to brunch and we sat down and we talked about the different portals or lands that make up Epic. And it was a very interesting conversation. We ended up ranking the different portals or lands into different categories. And we thought that we would sit down and kind of recap that today. And so Garrett is going to tell you just exactly how we did that.
Yeah, so our categories were immersion, atmosphere, attractions, and food and drinks. And we rated all of those on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best and 1 being the worst.
Okay, so our 5 portals or lands that we're going to be ranking today are Celestial Park, which is our main entrance into the park and its own land. We have Super Nintendo World, which is going to cover Mario, Bowser, and all of the classic video game characters. Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is actually going to focus more on the Fantastic Beasts movie series, if you know that, but some traditional things from the Harry Potter universe as well. We have Isle of Berk from How to Train Your Dragon. And we have Dark Universe, which is all the classic Universal monsters.
We're going to each give our rankings in terms of something that we like from the portal, just to be fun.
Okay, to get us started, we're going to break it down by each portal or land with our different categories that we just talked about. So starting with Super Nintendo World.
Yeah. So I'll go first. So I'm going to give it a ranking out of 1 to 5 Princess Peaches. So for immersion, so how much we feel like the world really just kind of takes over around us. I gave Super Nintendo World a 4 out of 5 Peaches. When you are in there, you don't see anything else. It is just Super Nintendo World. And there's all kinds of things moving. There's all kinds of noises. There's everything. People are running around, hitting those power-up bands. It's wild.
Yeah.
So the immersion for that land is really, really, really great. The only reason I didn't give it a 5 was because I didn't grow up playing Super Nintendo. These two did, and so our rankings are different, obviously, but I did not grow up playing that, so I didn't feel like I could give it a 5.
So I gave it a 5 in immersion, partially because I did grow up playing that, but it does such a good job of putting you actually inside the game. There's 2 stories. When you go through the portal, you feel like you're actually entering into the game. There's just so much to do. And there's all of your characters that you knew and loved from growing up. So I'm going to give it a total of 5 Bowsers.
Ooh, okay. I also gave it a 5. I think when you walk in, from the moment you walk in through the portal, up the escalator, into the castle, it really feels like you're there. Playing the video games growing up, I feel like I was a kid again, jumping right into the game. All of the different, even the 2-dimensional feel of the land I thought was really, really cool and really immersed me into the environment of Nintendo World, including the Donkey Kong area in the back of the park, which, don't forget about that. Go to the back and check that out. There's a lot of cool hidden Easter eggs with the power-up bands as well. So I would recommend taking advantage of all that. So yeah, my rating is 5 Yoshis.
Yeah. I really like the colors. That it's all the color and just the style of the construction of the land just makes it like that's what really does it. Like the textures of the brick and everything like that.
Yeah.
So our next category for Super Nintendo World is atmosphere. I gave atmosphere a 2. Sorry. I gave atmosphere a 2. And the only reason I did was because while it is very, very cool, it can be incredibly overstimulating. And for me, again, who's someone who didn't play the game growing up, I don't have that feeling of nostalgia like, oh, I'm in this game that I played so much growing up. It's fun, but there's just so much happening all the time. It's constant. So that's why I gave it a 2 out of 5 Princess Peaches for atmosphere.
I also gave it a 2 Bowsers for atmosphere for a lot of the same reasons. It's also incredibly popular, so lines are long, and it just feels like they're, in addition there to all of the sounds and things that are taking your attention, just the amount of people just going every which way. There's not really a set path within that land that you have to follow. So I got 2 Bowsers for me.
Yeah, so for me, just because of my personal connection with it, I'm a big Mario fan, a big Nintendo fan. I thought everything was great. I was able to lock into everything that was there. I do agree with you guys, though. It is very overwhelming, overstimulating. So if you're able to kind of lock into it and enjoy it, that's a good thing. I really liked the power-up bands again. I'm going to bring that back because I just thought that was a super cool way to stay involved with everything inside that portal. So for me, I gave it 4.5 Yoshis.
Okay, our next category is attractions. So in Super Nintendo World, you can ride 2 different rides. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, and
you can also ride Minecart Madness in the Donkey Kong land, as well as use your power-up bands. So power-up bands are something you can purchase through Universal, and it will link with your Universal app. You can choose your team. So if you buy a Mario power-up band, your team Mario. If you buy a Princess Peach one, your Peach, or Yoshi in your case. But that will link up in different question mark blocks and coin blocks and thwomps. Several other things can give you points that will allow you to win the day. So you're competing with and against the other folks who are in the park that day. So that's pretty cool. If you get 3 keys, then you can go do the Bowser Jr. attraction, which we got 2. We got 2 keys, so we didn't get to experience that. But anyway, scoring. So lots of attractions to do. Oh, you can also meet Mario and Luigi and Donkey Kong
and Toad
and Peach and Toad.
Yeah, we're going to count all that into attractions as well, because those are all things that you can do within the land. So for attractions, I gave it a 3 out of 5 Princess Peaches. We were able to ride Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, and it was so cool. The goggles that you put on allow you to see, like, I'm not explaining it very well.
They're AR.
DJ, why
yes.
don't you explain Mario?
AR, the local tech expert. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
They're augmented reality. So basically, you put your clear visor over top of your hat that they give you, and you can see things that interact with the environment on the ride.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. We have not been able to ride Minecart Madness yet, and that's something that I feel like I should go ahead and say. We have not experienced everything there is to do in this park. None of us have. So this is just based on what we've experienced. Again, these are our opinions. We understand that everybody's going to have their own. And if you've experienced something that we haven't, then obviously your opinions would be different probably. So this is strictly based on just what we've experienced. But I gave it a 3 out of 5 Princess Peaches because I think, again, I just don't have the nostalgia for it. It was a cool ride. I really liked it. I'm sure I'll like Minecart Madness as well when we get to ride it. But yeah, so that's...
So for me, I gave it 4 Bowsers. That's because there's so much to do. And I think the only thing that kept it from the 5 for me was just everything was in such high demand. I mean, we could have spent all day there and still probably not have accomplished everything that we wanted to do there.
Yeah.
So that was why I gave it 4 Bowsers.
Yeah, I really enjoyed everything that the park had to offer. I do agree that the wait times were a little bit long for everything, which is why my score is bumped down a little bit as well. So overall for attractions, I gave it 4 Yoshis.
And our last category is food and drinks. So for Super Nintendo World, I gave it 2 Princess Peaches out of 5. The main reason I gave it that ranking was because a lot of the food in Super Nintendo World is kind of more like novel, I guess you would say. You can get like the little toad buns, you know, things like that are cute, like very Instagrammable, but not necessarily ranking high on the taste scale. So that's why it's just not my preferred location for food and drink.
Yeah. I gave it a 1 Bowser just because of the same reasons. The Toadstool Cafe has several treats, but the draw for that is just being inside Toadstool Cafe, not so much the food. And
For me, for food and drinks, I agree with Kelsey. There are a lot of novelty items that you may enjoy. Like you can put them on social media pretty easily. There was a Yoshi shell that was a calzone. I thought that was pretty neat. They had a float, an ice cream float in the Donkey Kong land, which looked pretty cool. But other than that, nothing really jumped out. So for me, that was the lowest score in this park or portal, and I gave it 3.5 Yoshis.
Yep. So at the end of our Super Nintendo World, Kelsey, you're sitting at 11 Princess Peaches, and DJ, you're sitting at 17 Yoshis, and I'm sitting at 12 Bowsers.
So the next portal that we're going to focus on is How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. So for immersion, I gave it a 4 out of 5 asterisks. And the reason I did is because it's incredibly immersive, don't get me wrong. But the only reason I didn't give it a 5 is because you can see Stardust Racers from the land. And I know that that's picky, like that's really the only thing you can see from there, but it does take you out of the immersion a little bit because you can see something that's not Berk. So that's the only reason that I gave it a 4 out of 5 asterisks.
I also gave it a ranking of 4, but I'm going to say that there are 4 Stoics out of 5. And I mean, that was partially because the immersion gets broken when you see Stardust Racers. Even though the color scheme does fit, it's still something that's different. But it has all the same things that Nintendo had with the artwork and the way that, like, I just remember looking at the bridges and what the fake woodwork was that was, you know, on the railings. It just made you really feel like you were inside Berk.
Right.
I agree with everything you guys said. I think it was almost perfect. The only thing was just that, you can see a little bit of the coaster that's going through. But yeah, everything else, the attention to detail, they have the workshop with the dragon, it's just amazing. So I'm going to give it 4.5 Toothless.
Classic. Okay. Next is Atmosphere. I give it a 5. 5 out of 5 asterisks. When you walk through, it's the biggest portal. And so when you walk into it, it truly just kind of takes your breath away, especially with the music playing. And when we walked in the second time this last trip, it was at the perfect part in Test Drive. And I was brought to tears. Like, it's incredible. So Atmosphere, vibes, 5 out of 5 asterisks.
Yeah, I'm giving it 4 Stoics. Mainly because of that big reveal. As soon as you walk into the land, your jaw just kind of hits the ground. And as well as all of the roaming characters that, I mean, I guess we can consider attractions, but they're not really ones you search to meet. They're just the ones that are roaming. As well as the animatronic dragons that are throughout the land.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed just walking through the park and just feeling like I was on Berk, in Berk. But yeah, everything was really amazing, and I'm a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon, so for me, 4.5, Toothless.
Yes. And then we have attractions. So there are 3 rides in Isle of Berk. They are all very different. And there's also the roaming characters. There's meeting Toothless. I mean, what more do I need to say?
There's the show.
The show, yes. The Untrainable Dragon is incredible. Brings me to tears also. But I'd say a huge reason that I ranked it 5 out of 5 Astrids again is because of all those reasons, but the biggest reason being that you can meet Toothless, which highly recommend. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. I'm going with 4 Stoics because of the show. And even though we didn't get to do Hiccup's Wing Gliders, we've been twice and it went down both times and never reopened before we could get on the ride. But there, between that ride and then the show, meeting Toothless the first time we were there, I'm going to give it 4 Stoics.
Yeah, again, for me as a big fan, I kind of ranked this a little higher, even though the show was really all we were able to experience. The show was amazing, and I was emotional. It's a really cool show. Don't skip it. But also the other, things that I know exist, like meeting Toothless and the ride. So for those reasons, I gave it 4.5 Toothless.
Yes. All right, and then our last category is food and drinks, and I gave it a 4.5. This portal has really good food and drinks, and they have a lot of options. They have that very viral mac and cheese cone that you can get, and Mead Hall is probably my favorite place to eat there. Very good food, a lot of options for a drink as well. So that's why I gave it a 4.5.
So I gave it a 4 Stoics, and that was because all the food was good. We went to Spitfire Grill this time, we went to Mead Hall the last time. Spitfire Grill, I got salmon and just expected it to be dry and overcooked, and it wasn't. It was great. And then we were sitting on the deck there overlooking Fire Drill, the water ride there. So it was really just kind of cool being immersed in How to Train Your Dragon universe as we're sitting there eating. So that's why I gave it a 4.
For me, I really enjoyed Spitfire Grill. It was a good, pretty balanced lunch. The sweet potato mash that I had was very good.
Yes.
The steak was seasoned really well. I had rice as well. I didn't get the mac and cheese cone, even though I did really, really consider it. Maybe next time, but yeah, I would give it a 4 Toothless.
So to recap that, Kelsey, you are sitting at 18 and a half Astrids for Isle of Berk. DJ, you're sitting at 17 and a half Toothlesses.
Yep.
Or 17 and a half Toothlesses. And I gave it 16 Stoics.
Okay, our next category is for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Ministry of Magic.
Ministry of Magic, yes. And so for our first category for immersion, I gave it a 5 out of 5 Mooncaps.
Ooh.
I love that little thing so much. 5 out of 5 Mooncaps because when you walk in, it's gigantic. The buildings are much, much bigger than if you've been to Diagon Alley and to Hogsmeade and the other 2 Universal parks, the buildings here just tower. I mean, compared to the buildings there. And in those 2 lands, they're already huge and they're already immersive, and it just really feels like you're just in it. You're in Paris, and it's beautiful. The detail is incredible. And there are Aurors walking around. There, Cosme is walking around, the wand creator for Wizarding Paris. And I just feel like it's very, very immersive.
So for me, I'm giving it 4 Cosmes. Out of all the characters we met there, Cosme.
Queen.
Yeah.
She's a queen.
Yeah, she's running. runs the wand shop. So I like the way that she says that the wizard chooses the wand and not the other way around. But as far as immersion, yeah, 4 Cosmes, because you do get the idea that you're in Paris. At least, I mean, I asked you who's actually been to Paris. So it's really, really immersive. And it looks like something out of Fantastic Beasts.
I also gave it 4 nifflers.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I gave it 4. Like you guys mentioned, you really do feel like you're there, especially in the ministry, which is something, you know, a lot of us grew up with watching that. So to be able to see it in real life is a very special thing. And then, yeah, the Paris scenery, very accurate. I know it's very good, and so, yeah, I think 4 nifflers.
Our next category is atmosphere. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 mooncalves. I really feel like when you walk in, it's a very happy, magical environment. Like I said before, there's so much detail and it's beautiful. So the atmosphere really is very good, very good.
For me, I gave it 4 Cosmes because, again, when you walk in, the reveal is good and you see magic immediately. Mm-hmm. You walk in and you have the cafe on your left and you have stacked cauldrons on your right, which is one of the wand attractions there. So, and the buildings are just full-size buildings all the way through the land. So the fact that there's more to it where you can make a left or make a right and wander around the land a little bit, and it's set up like a city street. That's why the atmosphere for me was 4 Cosmes.
I give it 3.5 nifflers. I agree, like all of the magical environment when you walk through. There's even musicians playing, which I really like that. Mm-hmm. You know, hashtag support live music.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I really like that, being able to see that in the environment, and it felt very natural. So.
Yeah. Our next category is attractions. Yes. So I gave this a 3.75. And within the land, you can, of course, do wand magic. You can meet Cosme. And then, of course, you can ride the big ride where you go into the Ministry of Magic. And you go to Dolores Umbridge's trial. So, but
nothing goes wrong.
Nothing goes wrong. But other than that, that's pretty much it. As far as attractions are concerned, it's wand magic, meet Cosme, and ride the ride. You can also meet some other characters. Some students roam about, some aurors too, so they're also characters you can meet. I almost forgot about them, but that's why I gave it a 3.75, because there's just not quite as much to do.
So for attractions for me, I put it at a 2, so I guess I'm a little lower than you all. And that's because the main attraction there is the Wizarding World Ministry of Magic. And the attraction on that, we enjoyed the ride, but I mean, yeah, walking through the ministry was absolutely amazing. But that is the main attraction there. There's also Le Cirque d'Arcanu. I believe I said that right.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the show there, and to not spoil anything, the puppetry was great. My jaw was literally on the floor watching some of the tricks and the things that they did for that. And it also has the wand magic that you can do, so you can spend all day there doing just wand magic, but like there are lines for that, you know, which obviously wait your turn, but you get a Generation 2 wand. You can pair those to your app and it will track everything for you and gives you a little bit more functionality over a Gen 1 wand. Now, the downside for me on the wand magic was that all of Cosme's wands that she sells that are the Cosme branded wands are Gen 1 wands. And even though they're gorgeous, like if you wanted to get the added functionality, you have very limited options right now, at least for the Gen 2 wands.
I thought the attractions were really, really great overall. Just the attention to detail and the level that they recreated the Ministry of Magic. So for that reason, I gave it 4.5 nifflers. Another thing that I really enjoyed that I mentioned before is the live music. There was a band that was playing right outside the wand shop, I believe. Yeah, there was a trombone player, trumpet player, and they had a small crowd interacting. So overall, yeah, 4.5 nifflers.
For our last category, for food and drink, I gave it a 5 out of 5 mooncalves. The food in, oh goodness, let's hope I can say this correctly. The Cafe de la Sirene? Sirene? Is that right? Close enough?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay. Well, it's some of the best theme park food I've ever had. And I honestly would rank it up there with some like really nice table service restaurants I've had. And it's a quick service location. It is delicious. That's where you can get the butterbeer crepe. And again, it's, like I said, some of the best food I've had at a theme park. So for that reason, gets a 5 out of 5 mooncalves.
And that, to piggyback off that, I gave it a 4 Cosmes because the food was just fantastic. There's another place to eat in there as well, but it is also the only place that you cannot use the Coca-Cola Freestyle machines.
Mm-hmm.
So they
That's
don't
true.
have. So they have Coca-Cola Freestyle machines throughout the park, and in each of the portals, they have a special drink or a special combination in the top right-hand corner that you can click or tap to get that land's special drink. But those don't exist in the Wizarding World. But other than that, the food was amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Kelsey. The meal that we had at the cafe was up there in theme park meals that I've had, including, you know, your sit down, really nice places that you can get at, you know, competing parks as well. But yeah, really good quality. It came very quick, even though it was kind of busy in the restaurant. In the restaurant itself, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. The environment was super cool. Really nice interior of the restaurant that you could see kind of brought you into the movie, into the world. And of course there's things like butterbeer that you can get, which we didn't get there, but we got in, you know, a different park. So yeah, I thought it was really, really good quality overall.
Mm-hmm.
So to recap, Kelsey is at 17.25 mooncalves for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. DJ, you're sitting at 16.5 Nifflers. 16.5 Nifflers for the Wizarding World. And I have given it 14 Cosmes.
Our next portal that we're going to focus on is Dark Universe, which focuses on the Universal monsters. And for our first category, for immersion, I gave Dark Universe a 5 out of 5 Franks. Or Frankenstein. Yes.
Frankenstein monster.
Frankenstein monster. Yes. 5 out of 5. When you go into this portal, it is very different from the others. You kind of go in and you see all kinds of like coffins, some dug up graves, some, you know, barred off areas that you're not supposed to go in. And then you kind of round the corner and then you see the Frankenstein Manor. And it's a big reveal, but I feel like it's a much more quiet reveal. It's an unexpected big reveal, more so than the other portals. And you feel fully immersed into the village of Darkmoor. And the buildings are dark, they're kind of scary. There are roaming, you know, monsters. It's an incredible reveal, even though it's not as grand and in your face, I guess, as the other reveals.
So for me, I'm giving it 5 Draculas.
Ooh.
Because you walk in and you see the entrance down to the crypts, and and you see the graveyard there, which is so cool. Around the corner, you have the reveal of the village of Darkmoor. And again, seeing the Invisible Man, seeing Igor is so cool. But the backstory for this land is so cool with the vampires and how the town operates. And then you see Frankenstein Manor, which is on my shirt. Love that. You can see Frankenstein Manor, where Dr. Victoria Frankenstein is trying to harness all of the monsters, try to control all of the monsters, and there's just one she can't control, and that would be Dracula. So we can save that for attractions, I guess.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. Yeah. Spoiler. Anyway, so Dr. Frankenstein will drain the power from the town once in a while to needing more power for her experiments. And then you also have the Burning Blade Tavern at the back where the windmill blades actually catch fire. So and that's pretty cool too.
Yes.
For me, I'm going to rate this 5 Igors, which I think Garrett mentioned. Igor is a guy who's walking around, which really was like one of the first things that we experienced as we walked into the portal. And I would definitely recommend visiting this at night, because you really get into that atmosphere, or immersion rather. For all those reasons, I would say 5 Igors is my score.
It's the first one that we've all agreed on.
Yeah,
that's true.
It is. Yeah. Our next category is atmosphere, and for atmosphere, I had to give it a 5. It does so well at making you feel dark and uneasy. It's, like I said, it's not that magical, happy, excited feeling that you get when you walk into the Wizarding World or to Berk, or to Super Nintendo World. It's ominous, and it's dark, and it's very, very cool. It's so different. It's great. I love it. So 5 out of 5 Franks for me.
I gave it 4 Draculas for atmosphere. It is a great land to explore. The front of the land has better vibes than really the back of the land in a lot of ways, just because it opens up to that huge courtyard for Frankenstein Manor, and you can veer off to go to Curse of the Werewolf or back to the Burning Blade Tavern. So that kind of takes away a little bit for me, but it's still an incredible land.
Yeah, atmosphere I thought this is the one place that I didn't feel overcrowded, even though it is popular. I think just because of the way that it's set up, it's very dark, it's very ominous. Everybody kind of blends in a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think for me, that was really built the atmosphere of Dark Universe, so I gave it 4 Igors.
For attractions for Dark Universe, I gave it a 4.75 out of 5 Franks, because the big attraction in the portal is Monsters Unchained, and this is one of the most incredible rides that I've ever been on. It is state of the art. It has incredible animatronics, and so many of them. Like, it's wild. Like I said, this is my favorite ride right now, at least, in the park. But as far as other things that you can do, you can ride Curse of the Werewolf, which we have not been able to ride yet, and you can also meet some of the characters like Igor and Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein, and the Invisible Man. You can get your face painted like the monsters, which is very cool. But it does have just a little bit less, I feel like, than the other portals in terms of things to do.
So I gave it 4 Draculas because partially Monsters Unchained is just such a good ride, and the Dracula animatronics on that ride are amazing. Yeah. But you can also do Curse of the Werewolf. There's a violinist that wanders who's a storyteller. You can meet Igor. You can see the Invisible Man. When you go up to the windows, you can hear different things going on. The face painting is good. Yeah. We should say if you get your face painted and you're wanting to drink alcohol, you should not do that, because then they're not going to be able to identify you. You will not match your ID anymore, so you will not be served alcoholic drinks. So if you want to drink alcohol, don't get your face painted. But if that is not something that you're into or something you're wanting to do, then get your face painted. Go look like the creature from the Black Lagoon if you want.
Yeah.
Different strokes for everybody. Another reason I'm giving it a 4 is because when you go to the back of the land and see the Burning Blade Tavern, every 15 minutes or so, the windmill will catch fire. This is from the original Frankenstein movie, when Frankenstein's monster goes up in at the top of the windmill. You can actually see a few minutes before the windmill catches fire. You can see lights where like the townspeople were coming with their torches, and then the windmill catches fire. So it's just a cool thing. There's a lot of little things to do and little things to look for that the other lands don't necessarily have as much of.
For me, I gave attractions 4 Igors, and the only reason it's not a 5 or a 4.5, a little higher, is just because I do feel like there isn't as much to do overall. Even though Monsters Unchained is an amazing ride, it's super fun, especially at night. Igor walking around the park, to be honest, he kind of creeped me out. I think it's the
point. Yeah.
That's the point.
So yeah, for those reasons and for everything you guys mentioned as well, 4 Igors.
Our last category for food and drink, I gave Dark Universe a 3 out of 5 francs because it's got a steakhouse that is run by the vampire familiars. So the folks that are working in cahoots with the vampires of Darkmoor. And it also has another little snack area. Not a huge variety of food, but that is why I gave it a 3 out of 5.
So I gave it 2.5 Draculas because although we haven't eaten at Das Steakhouse, we've heard that it's good. And then you have the themed tavern at the back.
Yeah,
the themed Burning Blade Tavern, which is super cool. When you go inside, when you look up, you can see the embers from the
cool.
burning blade. So that's why I gave it 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't eat here, and I think we've said this, but just in case, it's important to note we haven't eaten in all these places, including Dark Universe, but I think the options seemed a little bit more limited here, so, and it's not something I was super wanting to try, so for that, I gave it 3 Igors.
Great. So standings for Dark Universe, Kelsey, you gave it 17.75 Frankenstein monsters. DJ, you have 16 Igors, and I am sitting at 16.5 Draculas. A lot of Draculas.
A lot of Draculas.
Yeah.
Okay, so our last portal is Celestial Park. And for the first category for immersion, I gave Celestial Park a 3 out of 5 Captain Cacaos, which is the little bear mascot for Celestial Park. He's so stinky cute. The reason I gave it 3 out of 5 for immersion was because this is the only portal or land that is not based on IP. Universal completely created this land from scratch, which is amazing, and it's gorgeous, it's wonderful, but it just doesn't have that element of story that I'm familiar with behind it to really get myself immersed in where I am.
For the immersion, Celestial Park and Universal said they wanted to put the park back in theme park, and they sure did this. I'm going to give it 4.5 flux capacitors. And I understand that's Back to the Future, but it was pointed out to me that on the back of these Stardust Racers are flux capacitors. So I figured I would put that little Easter egg in there too to look for that. I mean, they're going by so fast it's hard to see, but I thought 4.5 flux capacitors. There is so much to do there. It is beautiful. The gardens are beautiful, and at night it even lights up more. It's stunning.
For me, for Celestial Park, I really enjoyed all the nice scenery, the gardens, the fountains. I really enjoyed all that. But like Kelsey said, it was a little harder to tie into it because it is something new that Universal created. It's not a nostalgia factor with any of the characters. So I gave it 3.5 Andromedas.
Ah, nice. Nice. For atmosphere, I gave it a 4.5. For a lot of the reasons that Garrett mentioned, it is a gorgeous area with all of the plants and the fountains, and at night this area is just beautiful. And the whole land interacts with the end of the night fountain show that you can watch in front of the Helios Grand Hotel. And it's just a beautiful place to be. So that was why I gave it that.
For me, I'm going with 4.5 flux capacitors. Again, because the park is so beautiful. And for me, knowing the backstory of Epic Universe and all of that, walking into the park, it's almost like you're walking into like a World's Fair of like IP, for me at least. So like that's like the big welcoming area, and the walkways are gigantic, so you don't ever feel crowded in Celestial Park, even when there are thousands of people roaming about. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of places to sit and relax. If you're going to find a place to relax, there's plenty of places to do that in Celestial Park. So vibes are high.
Good. Yeah, for atmosphere, I really enjoy the atmosphere of the park. What you guys are saying is super valid. It just wasn't my favorite just because there were so many other amazing places, and it kind of almost felt like a stepping stone into the other portals, which is what it's supposed to be. But just because it didn't have as much of a wow factor, I give it 3.5 Andromedas.
For attractions, there are 2 main attractions in this portal, and that is Stardust Racers and Constellation Carousel. And for this, I gave it 4 out of 5 Captain Cacaos. We rode both rides in Celestial Park, and while the carousel is very cool, it's a very different take on a carousel, in that it raises you up 6 feet. And at night, of course, it lights up like the rest of the area, and it's gorgeous. It was fun, but it's not something that I would wait a long time for. Stardust Racers, however, even though I felt like I was going to, pass out a few times on that ride, just because of the intensity level, I still have to acknowledge that it's a really good coaster. And it's dueling, or racing, so you've got 2 different coasters going at the same time and weaving around each other, and it's a very cool new take to me on a coaster, and so I gave it 4 out of 5 Captain Cacaos.
So for attractions, I went down to a 2, actually, which I don't love as much, but it was because there's less to do. The rides are fantastic. Stardust Racers is fantastic, and at night you can the only thing that's lit on the coaster is underneath, so it looks like they're comets racing, which is what they're supposed to be, so it's a completely different experience at night. The coaster's very intense. It's just a lot of fun to do, but there's not a lot. There's shopping, which is not something I'm super into, but they don't have any meet and greets or other draws, no shows or other draws within Celestial Park. So that's why it is 2 flux capacitors.
I think the overall anchor point of the attractions in Celestial Park is, of course, Stardust Racers, which I found to be very thrilling, in a good way. I didn't know, I was really amping it up, hyping it up in my mind, and it kind of lived up to the hype once I was on it. Maybe a little bit of a controversial take, but I think it's a little bit more thrilling than Velocicoaster. I've heard some other people say the opposite, but to each your own. Yeah, so it did carry it in my rating for sure as a really, really good roller coaster. So I gave it 4.5 Andromedas.
Then our last category is food and drink. So Celestial Park is really the only portal that has your traditional table service restaurants. So you have like the Atlantic, the Blue Dragon, and so, but it also has a lot of other little options. Like it has Starbucks, it has different things like that, little snack areas. So for food and drink, I gave it a 3 Captain Cacaos out of 5.
For me, on Celestial Park, I'm giving it 4.5 flux capacitors for food and drink. And that's because there's so many choices. So you have Pizza Moon, where you can get pizza. You've got the Tavern, which has, I think, barbecue. And we haven't eaten there. It's on my list to eat. We just didn't get to it in time. The Plastered Owl, which is the bar that goes with it. The Atlantic, the Blue Dragon. And there's another restaurant that's going to be opening. Part of the reason it got 4.5 instead of 5 is because that wasn't open. But it is amazing food. I actually went to one of the snack stands and got some soup dumplings, and they were just so delicious. Perfect snack for the day. So for me, 4.5 flux capacitors.
I didn't have any of the food or drink. Well, I guess if you count the Starbucks near the gate, which was kind of a cool experience. Actually, they've themed, they've themed everything inside the Starbucks in that it fits in Celestial Park. So I would recommend checking that out. But other than that, I didn't really have a strong desire to try anything else in the park. So for that reason, I give it 3.5 Andromedas.
So overall rankings for Celestial Park. Kelsey, you have 14.5 Captain Cacaos. DJ, you have 15 Andromeda Galaxies. And I gave it 15.5 flux capacitors. So overall at Epic Universe, we had a great day. We did a lot of things, surely not everything. We could easily spend several days there before we accomplished everything that we wanted to do. So with that being said, based on our 4 categories, immersion, atmosphere, attractions, and food and drink, let's talk about where our overall rankings were as far as who's taking the podium today.
Okay, for my overall rankings, I had Super Nintendo World in 5th place. And then I had Celestial Park in 4th place. Wizarding World of Harry Potter in 3rd place. Darkmoor in 2nd, and Isle of Berk in 1st. And I think it's worth noting that Wizarding World and Dark Universe were very, very close. My score for Dark Universe was 17.75, and my score for Wizarding World was 17.25. So these portals, at least in my opinion, it can be kind of hard to rank them. They're so good. They're great.
Yeah, for mine, I don't love my rankings necessarily because it's hard to give like a last place.
Yeah,
it is. Everything was so close. So my 5th place, last but certainly not least, is Super Nintendo World, and for me it was the food choices that really brought that down. But everything else was so good. It was just, it makes it kind of hard to see Super Nintendo World in 5th place where I grew up, playing all those games. Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic is in 4th place. We're not as huge of fans of the Fantastic Beasts series, but so that kind of took away a little bit from me on that. Now on to my podium finishers. 3rd place is Celestial Park. The food was so good, and the atmosphere was so good, and Stardust Racers was so good, so it ended up in 3rd place. 2nd place is Isle of Berk for the immersion and the attention to detail. And my 1st place is going to be Dark Universe. I've not really been a huge Universal Monsters fan, not really a huge horror fan in general, but that land just made me have a new respect for the Universal Monsters and for that era of film creation.
For my rankings, they're all super close. I'm going to go over the points just because they're all like within a 0.5 of each other.
Oh my gosh, they are.
So in 5th place, Celestial Park with 15 points, or 15 Andromeda Galaxies as I ranked them. Just because I do feel like, as I mentioned before, it's a little bit of a stepping stone into the other portals. But overall, amazing with Stardust Racers, amazing ride. The atmosphere, especially at night with all the lights, super good. Nothing to skip out on by any means. In 4th place, I ranked Dark Universe with 16 points. So very close, 16 Igors. And I really enjoyed just the immersion into that. I am a horror fan, not a big horror fan, but a lot of the classic villains was really cool to see that. Now the podium finishes with 16.5 Nifflers. In third place is The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. These, I think my top 3 finishes are no surprise to me. These were the most anticipated portals for me visiting. So Wizarding World, third place, no surprise. On to second place with 17 points is Super Nintendo World. Super close with it in the next one. But yeah, just the immersion, Mario, just amazing. Just overall really exciting and really cool experience. And then in first place with 17.5 Toothless, that's what I used. With 17.5 Toothless in first place we have Isle of Berk, which is, I'm a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon, so I was just in heaven visiting all the different places all day. I bought the merch, if you didn't see the Instagram stories. I bought it. All the merch there, so...
Insert DJ's 0.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, those are my rankings. Overall, like we mentioned before, all these are really close and amazing experience.
So overall, I think it was a successful day at Epic Universe. I would suggest if you're watching this looking at how you want to tackle Epic, if it's your first time, and so we're new to Epic as well, but I would say start early and stay late. And try to get on a ride first. Prioritize what you want to do. It's still new, so things are still going down throughout the day, so use that time to catch a show or do something else. And there's so much to do. Step out of your comfort zone and enjoy the parks. It's so easy once you get into the park to get around. Bring a water bottle because all the bathrooms have bottle filling stations, and that's been super helpful as well. So just stay hydrated and enjoy your day at Epic Universe.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Play.
I'm touching you. I'm touching you.
It's a $52 order. We will not be paying that.
2225, 2225, 2225, 2225, 2225, 2225. Dark Universe, which is all the villains from our traditional classic villain stories.
It's stunning.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yeah, you.